Hi guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're talking about something a little spicy. We're going to talk about twin flames, soulmates, love, sex, and magic. So to get started, I am going to do my reading, of course. So the first card that came out was definitely the love card, and like I say, all of these readings are so always in tune with the topic of the video. I don't plan this out. I mean, I plan the topics out kind of, but not definitely not the readings. So it's really cool that we have this love card. So I don't know who is out there. If you have this spice coming into your life, this soulmate, the twin flame love, like it's definitely on its way to you, and it's going to teach you some things about what you can actually do with this connection, because there's some blended pleasure when you're mixing these two types of chemicals together. And by chemicals I mean the divine feminine and the divine masculine. When you have that balance of power and energy and magic, like there's so many great beautiful things that you can really do with this. So the last card that I did pull was the devil, so don't get too afraid. The devil card is actually a really great card for this type of reading, because there's definitely, like, this lust behind this type of blended pleasure, and that's why especially the twin flame love connection can be really intense, scary, and just overwhelming. So like you have to take this with great consideration, and a strong discipline and boundaries, because there are some things that can really come up with this type of energy. And now don't get me wrong, because there are a lot of stigmas behind lust, and we're actually going to cover a lot of that today too, because really lust can be a beautiful, powerful thing. And we're here to kind of not necessarily tame our shadows, but work with our shadow and really learn from that type of energy, because that energy is there for a reason. That energy exists for beautiful reasons. And sometimes we really do have to tap into our deeper desires, not just because we want to kind of stimulate our minds and just our weaker points, but we want to learn how to utilize that type of energy for our benefit, and learn how to use it with discipline and take advantage of this type of magic, because it's very useful, especially for manifesting. Like, especially if you be doing this under some full moon energy, like there are some rituals we got to work on. So today we're going to cover that. Now, I I know that you probably came to this video for a reason. I want to let you know that I'm not here to like specify your twin flame or your soulmate or anything like that. That's not really the focus of the video. However, if you are kind of in this feeling that you may have found your twin flame or your soulmate, that's probably why you're here today. And we're going to cover like some of the feelings, the emotions, and the energies that really kind of confirm this type of energy for you, because, or connection I should say, because when we have this connection we can get it really confused with just lust, because lust alone is not what we're looking or aiming for, especially in like soul connections, real relationships, like period. That's not what you want to focus on, because you're going to either get played, you're going to dive into these emotions without discipline or boundaries, strong boundaries, especially if it's lust related, because the type of stuff can really distract you from your focal points and what's important in life. And that goes for anyone, male, female. And like it's really important to understand the difference between lust and love. I'm not saying that lust is love, but there is lust in a real love connection, because we are sexual creatures. I mean, we make babies through lust, through love, love making. There are things that happen because of this type of connection. So it's just something to really have an open mind about. Now, with that being said, if you really want to understand or try to claim like your twin flame or soulmate love, or if you're just trying to understand this connection, the first thing you really want to look for is the tingling sensation, like not the sexual desire so much as the tingling, the chills that you receive when you're thinking about this person, or when you believe that you might have this type of connection. Now, you can also get chills, obviously, for other situations. You might be in a cold room, or the fan might be blowing on you. But usually it's going to kind of overwhelm you. It's going to take over your mind, your body, and your soul at a very quick pace. So it's something to look out for, and some that's not necessarily defining, like clarifying connection, or like a confirmation, I should say. So do be aware, like if you really want to understand if this connection is for you, go through a few other confirmations too. Like get a tarot reading on this person, get a psychic reading, a love connection reading, or you can also do some love spells, some love magic, because we are here with pure intentions. And if you go in to this type of magic, this type of alchemy, witchcraft, whatever you want to call it, you can really go in and get some clarifying answers if you go with pure intention. You're not here to try to harm or, take advantage of somebody else, because karma is real and it works out in mysterious ways where you're not going to be able to take advantage of somebody like that. That's not how magic works. I mean, some people will say otherwise, but I really truly don't believe that you can take advantage of somebody who is strong in their energy and strong in their mind. So with that being said, do some more research. Don't just use the tingling, the chills as your defining answer, but you do want to kind of like understand this person from a soul point of view. So maybe do some like astrology connections, maybe do some background connections between the two, and check on your communication, the energy between you, just period. Like, are you guys well connected? Like, do you communicate well? Do you have like this like clear energy between the two of you where it's easy to talk about things, it's easy to kind of connect, and they're just easy to be around? Because that type of love connection is usually a soulmate. It can also be a twin flame if you guys have gone through all of your karmic lessons, but you really want to understand that type of connection before you kind of just make conclusions, jump to conclusions. So now, with the whole love making, we're going to tap into some love making energy, because it's really a strong, strong energy to tap into if you're manifesting. If you're wanting to call in some abundance for you in your life and you want to have some things, some energy blockers cleared for you, lust, love making, whatever. Both of those things are really great for getting rid of bad energy. It's a great endorphin and serotonin release. So you really want to understand that, pheromones related to this type of energy and your serotonin, it can really confuse you with love. So don't take like your energy, your sexual energy, and confuse it with love, because those two things are not necessarily completely connected. And I know that sounds like a little strange when we're talking about love making and lust and how it's great for manifesting. The thing is there's always these other characteristics. There's always going to be different factors in a situation, no matter what it is. So you just want to go in with like, an analytical mind, but not an overthinking mind, where you can kind of differentiate between the two: love making, soul connections. And when you're manifesting, just set those things aside. Make them these separate things that are connected through, like, obviously you're doing these things together because that's your aim is to manifest through lovemaking or lust. So that's really, it's separated from actual love and it's separated from actual lust, because our gain is to manifest through these energies, which doesn't necessarily mean that you're in love or you're in lust or anything like that. It's just, we use these words, this terminology, but we have to seriously differentiate between the two so we don't get ourselves confused. Because if our aim is to manifest, we are doing a selfish act. And remember, selfish doesn't necessarily have bad stigma. It's not necessarily negative, because we are allowed to be selfish in this universe. We're here to take care of ourselves. So you just maybe want to communicate with the other person, like, hey, I want to do a lovemaking ritual with you. See how turned on they do get anyway. So, like, but maybe communicate that really healthily with the other person involved and let them know that, you are using this energy to kind of gain your own benefit, but like see how they respond and react, because maybe that will give you some clarification on your connection too. Just saying. But now, with that being said, if you really want to tap into this energy, the best time to do this is during a full moon, just because the full moon definitely has a lot of that receiving energy. When you're trying to manifest, full moon really gives us all this bright, beautiful energy, because I mean, the moon is blossoming with that reflective light. So it's coming back towards us with the full moon energy. So you can have your full moon tea, you can have your crystals laid out with an altar, and you can just kind of set the tone to have this ritual set up. And by ritual, I mean this beautiful love-making scene. Like, you can really connect with your partner that way when you make it a beautiful ritual between the two, and it's not just something you do because, hey, I'm horny. So, like, really get into that and understand that you can make something beautiful out of something as simple as lovemaking. So, now the full moon energy, you don't have to necessarily use the full moon energy. It's just a great time to actually do this. Obviously, you want to have more sex than just under the full moon, because that's only once a month or something like that. But like when we're trying to get into that energy, like use all of this other spiritual energy that you're surrounded with as well. Like, don't just have the ritual set up. Make it beautiful, make it something that you guys connect with, because that will, one, help your connection with the other person, and then two, it can help you understand your own energy in manifesting. When you're understanding that you have that power and you're the one that's actually drawing all of that in, it's the same as like crystals. Like when we're manifesting through crystals, the crystals themselves, and this is my personal belief, like, and a lot of other people too, but you don't have like these crystals that are specifically, designed just for one thing. Like, you can use them for others, and obviously if you go in with the belief that, these crystals are, like citrine's great for manifesting and drawing energy in, like if you do that, if you have that mindset, that's actually much better to do. And I know that sounds a little confusing, but it's not necessarily like you don't have to stick with one thing. You can spice up your life and try different things, is basically what I'm trying to tell you. So, like, make it fun, make it an experience more than anything, and you will really understand the results and your own energy and your power more than anything. So, like, go in with an open mind, but also understand your own power with manifesting, and really go in with the belief that you are powerful and you are going to create this abundance for yourself through this ritual that you're creating. So, now, going into lust, lust is actually a really beautiful thing. You can really, like, the kinky part, the kinky side to sex can really, one, help you entertain the sexual encounters, so you can make it like fun, like whether you're doing role playing or you're just going in with like some some tools, some toys, like whatever it is, like you can really turn it into something even funner, and that will stimulate your mind. I'm sure there's some science behind it. I don't have like the research, I'm not an expert on that sort of thing, but I'm certain that there's other triggers in your brain that get, stimulated from the fun aspect of your sexual encounters. So keep that in mind too when you're wanting to do these types of rituals, because you can make something really fun out of something, and then you can also see the magic results afterwards, which is even more like confirming and stimulating, because then you're going to want to do it even more often, and it just spices up your life. It creates this fun, like, beautiful thing about your lust and your love making when you're making it spicy, then that goes for anything in life really, but our focus is sex today. It is magic and manifesting. So, you know, try different things out and really turn it into just a simple basic ritual. If you're not like exactly comfortable with all the other things like the kinky side and the lust side, you can definitely just make it a beautiful ritual with like your crystals, your incense. I can tell you that your man's going to appreciate that, or your woman especially. Just saying. So turn it into something really cool for both of you, because it can really help your connection with the other person too when you guys have this type of energy, and it can really intensify the connection that you have and make it even stronger, because it's something that you can confide in, and it's really great for releasing too. Like if you have any stress, any burdens that are clouding your mind and your judgment and your energy, like you can really clear up a lot of those blockages when you release and you have, you know, your ritual of sex. Like it will, you'll be surprised, and maybe not even surprised, maybe you'll just notice right off the bat how great you feel, because like when our mind is distracted with something as powerful as sex and lovemaking, you don't have anything else to worry about in the world, because at that moment nothing else matters. So and that's the other reason why you want to kind of separate the feelings, the emotions, and the sex and lovemaking. So just something else to consider in why we're going to separate these things. So think about that when you're going into these love connections. But also, I do want to mention, if you are going into a fresh relationship, like make some time before you actually go into these type of rituals with a person, just because you want to understand that other person's energy and what they're involved in currently, because sometimes they could have some dark energy attached to them, and that sort of stuff can linger on your soul because they don't have things figured out for them, or they're just kind of chaotic. Like you want to keep an eye on that sort of energy. You don't want to go in insecure or with doubt, self-doubt, because some of those energies can really just be our mind racing, some of the overthinking characteristics of a Virgo. I know. Well, understand that, sometimes it is just us. Remember, we're here for our shadow and our light. So understand that you could also be not necessarily the problem, but you could be the person that's overthinking a situation. So, go in with that type of clear mind as well, and just let energies flow. Sometimes it just takes an experience. Sometimes it just takes, putting yourself out there and trying something, because if we go through and we understand that, maybe we could possibly get hurt, then we're less likely to get hurt, because then we knew that there was a possibility. So, go in with that type of energy as well. And but this isn't necessarily relationship advice, sorry. But you do want to go in with that type of energy if you're trying something new and fresh with somebody. If you came into this video like without any idea of what we're talking about, like, and you just want to, kind of separate those feelings and emotions, not completely though, because you do want to have like this love connection, this strong energy connection between the two of you, especially if you're manifesting, obviously. So and vice versa, you just want to have a better understanding, is what I'm trying to say. Not vice versa, but what I'm trying to say is you definitely want to have a better understanding of things and how things will play out for you, and go in, you know, open-hearted, open-minded, and go in with the belief that you are powerful and that you can create something beautiful out of thin air, because you can. I promise. I hope today's video was resonating and it helped you clear up some energy and you have a better idea of what you can do with manifesting. Have a great day. Bye.